Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to episode 5 of the vlog, and today we have some big things planned. Today Hunter and I, we're going down to Denver. We're going to actually do some photo shoots for Holo and then get some grub and just kind of hang out. Today we have something special planned, and I also kind of have a special topic to talk to you guys about. So, you know, being a part of Holo Esports and really dealing with, I guess, the background scene of an organization, I've decided I kind of want to start talking more about that with you guys and kind of the different, I guess, roadblocks you have to overcome and the mental state you have to be in, because, you know, a lot of people come into esports thinking, yeah, I want to start an organization, but in reality, it's a lot more work than what most people expect. Like, it's an everyday job, and if you want to run a successful company, you know, you have to be prepared to work every single day for that, because, you know, like, if you do it, you know, once a week, you're not going to get anywhere, and you're just going to kind of blend in with just the majority of other organizations. So today I kind of wanted to talk about the idea of photo shoots and the importance branding, or the importance photo shoots can bring with branding, and different techniques of photo, or like taking photos of someone, and like the expressions that like the meaning behind everything, and I go a bit more in depth into that and kind of maybe teach you guys a bit more on the production side of things for this episode anyway. So right now we're on our way to Denver. Nothing special, we're just on the highway right now, or interstate, and yeah, so I'm with Hunter now. So here we go. Let's get right into this vlog, boys. What's going on, guys? So we just made it to Denver. We're in the parking garage right now, and we thought this place was pretty groovy, so that we'd film in here. But we don't really have a whole lot planned today in Denver. We're kind of just walking around, exploring, take photos, just do whatever, see what kind of things there is in Denver, given we're not really there that whole lot. Basically, we have a lot of big things planned for you guys, especially when it comes with these next few weeks. We're gonna have a lot of really cool new series coming out and some special people. Stay tuned for that. But yeah, we're just gonna kind of walk around and show you guys a bit of what our city is like in Colorado. Let's kind of see what's out there. So let's get into it. All right, guys, so I just kind of wanted to break down photography and a bit more about photo shoots and branding and what it kind of means for the company you run, or it could be more on the personal side. So I just kind of want to give it more of a breakdown and kind of give you guys more in depth on, I guess, why I have the mindset of putting a lot of emphasis on it and why I feel it is important for organizations or just your personal brand. So I guess to start things off, I've noticed a recent pattern, or not even a recent, it's kind of been a pattern these past 5 years where, you know, all the really big organizations, they put a lot of emphasis in it because they understand it, but a lot of these smaller organizations, they may not have the resources nor the, I guess, knowledge to understand the importance of branding. So to me, understanding branding is a key aspect of gaining exposure, and I feel like it starts with photo shoots. The reason I say this is just because, you know, you want to make sure that your merch is something that will pop off. You know, like, you want to show people that the merch you wear is something that could be worn in public and not look goofy. Because I know a lot of, I guess, gaming apparel, it kind of looks a little goofy in public aspects, but like when you're in your room, it's whatever, but out in public they can look a little goofy. So I feel like having that photo shoot aspect is important because it's showing people, or showing your audience, you can show off these clothes in public without looking goofy, and it can also set a certain tone, and that's where the photography aspect comes in. Setting it at night or in the morning or in a city or in the mountains, you know, it all showcases a different mood, and the mood you want to set for that clothing line or that clothing drop, whatever it may be. And so today I kind of wanted to go further in depth and kind of break down the aspects of doing a photo shoot in an esport environment, and kind of showcase to you guys the difference between, I guess, a regular photo shoot and more of an esport oriented photo shoot that's more, I guess, oriented towards jerseys and hoodies and more of like the merchandise for an esports organization. So we're just gonna kind of hop into that here soon. I'm here with Hunter. He's kind of like the go-to model for Holo Esports. He has a lot of experience when it comes to being in front of the camera when it comes to that. So he can also he will here soon explain kind of what different different moods will mean and what they represent, and kind of how you can learn from that and maybe implement it into your own photography or for your own organization's branding. So we're just gonna go further into that, but for now we're just kind of looking around, exploring Denver. There's a lot to see out here. There's a lot of cool things. Too bad the weather's a little whack today though. Like, cloudy, it's rainy. It's kind of been like this for the last couple weeks, and I'm like, bro, where's the summer sunshine? Yeah, that's all I kind of had to say right now. I will see you guys here soon.
All right, so on screen you've probably seen a few pictures, or we'll show them now. I wanted to talk a little bit more on the modeling side of these photo shoots and the branding itself, because not a lot of people realize it, but it's a huge piece in making sure you're branding properly and getting the message across that you're trying to portray. You know, so I'm in the same setting that we just took these same pictures, and a huge thing with it is setting is everything, but also not. And it gets confusing because, you know, if you find a super cool spot to take pictures and the scenery is just perfect and it's like, you know, you just love the dynamic of it. But the issue is if you just centralize too much around just where you are and not enough around, you know, how you're angling your body and your body language, your facial expressions, it gets a bit icky. Because, you know, the biggest point of it is making sure everything like goes in the same direction and they're all working with each other and nothing is clashing. And so how we did it with this shoot, you know, we've got the grass, we've got the skyscraper above us. It's a nice kind of quiet environment, but it's still kind of loud and like, you know, we're in a cool spot. So you have to be more subtle with it. But so one thing you really got to focus on is, you know, if you can't always get a studio to take pictures. It's expensive. No one wants to drop the money on it when you can find a small or a big city and get an environment where it just works perfectly. Me and Hayden work a lot in town where we just go to spots we know of, or we find cool spots and we just like, you know what, screw it, let's take pictures here. And so one thing with that is it might be awkward at first, but it's one of those things where you kind of just have to zone out of it. No one cares. You know, they'll look at it and be like, what is going on? But they're not going to question. They're not going to walk up to you and talk to you. It's a huge mental thing that you kind of got to get by. But when you're modeling, you got to focus out everything. Everything needs to be tuned out. You got to shut yourself off from it and just focus on how you are physically presenting yourself. You have to make sure at all times that whatever you're presenting is being shown off, but it doesn't need to be screaming in your face. With the pictures, you'll notice that it's never a full-on shot of the Holo emblem. It's always, you know, pieces of it, or it's a bigger focus in it, but it's not the main thing. And the person who's taking the pictures shouldn't be the main thing either, because you're not what the people are there for. You're just helping present the brand or whatever you're pushing, and that's pretty much it, you know? You have to make sure that your facial expression isn't too grabbing or binding to the picture. It's got to be, you're just an object that is holding up whatever you're trying to show. And that's a big piece of it as well. And you know, a lot of times people get iffy and just stare right at the camera. Don't. It's not seductive. I'm not wearing a bikini. I'm not trying to show off a six-pack. You know, there's no seductive kind of like, I want you to be focusing on me. I want you to focus on the brand. That's what it always is. I'll never really look at the camera. I'll look in the direction of it, but I'm never making eye contact with the actual lens for the purpose of the fact that it's about Holo, not about me. And that's another thing, is how you position your body. You know, if I have my legs super wide, it looks weird, it's strange, no one wants to see it. But if I have them super close, I look, you know, nervous or shy. You don't want that. You want like a nice spacing where it's comfortable, it looks visually pleasing, and then you have to stay relaxed. When you're forcing a pose, it's obvious and it doesn't really look great either. So how you really got to work it is you have to be comfortable, but positioning so the brand is like maintaining the viewer's focus, you know? And then one last piece that I think a lot of people forget about is how you're expressing your emotion. A lot of times how I will go about it is I kind of just look blank, or I'll give kind of like a smirk, maybe like kind of a snarl. Not a snarl. Snarl is kind of a bad word for it. But, you know, I'll just look more serious than anything. But that's because they're typically serious settings. You know, if it was a group photo shoot where there's multiple people wearing Holo apparel, you know, that's when I'd have more of a happy expression. But when it's a more solo piece and you're just trying to brand whatever it is more effectively, that's when you don't really, you can smile. I'm not saying you can't smile, but it shouldn't be an overwhelming amount of smile. There's a difference between smiling with teeth, without, kind of having a smirk, a smolder, whatever is your style, or just having a straight face. These are all different pieces that when used effectively, it can really make or break the picture. So, and that's a lot of what I focus on for these pictures, is making sure that my body language is in a good position where it's visually pleasing, that I'm not showing too much emotion or not enough emotion, never really locking eyes with the camera because, it's not seductive. I'm not trying to draw you in for me, I'm drawing you in for Holo or whatever branding I'm wearing. When you mesh all of those perfectly and match a good surrounding with you, it kills pictures. And so, those are like my kind of tips for you, is, just making sure that everything looks comfortable, but it matches the setting and the scenery to an extent that everything works perfectly.
So I hope you guys enjoyed us kind of going a bit more in depth about, I guess, photo shoots and modeling as a whole. We can always do more of these. Like, I would like to kind of go more in depth about just different topics within esports that I guess generally isn't talked about when it comes to behind the scenes, and I guess more of the business aspect of things in a sense when it comes to, I guess, the creative side, the actual business side itself, and just kind of a bit of behind the scenes of what's going on. I feel like not a lot of people are really doing that, and I feel like there's a lot of people interested in that mindset. So.
Oh, really?
What was it? Did you find my snap?
Hayden, don't be alarmed, but there's a big ass building behind you.
Whoa. So guys, now we're in a segment where I kind of wanted to bring up a cool idea Hunter and I had for the series, the vlog series, is kind of like a Q&A throughout the vlog. I think that'd be kind of cool to, you guys can ask us questions, we'll give you answers on anything you may have. It could be related to earlier vlogs, it could be esports related, it could be just whatever you want it to be, just any question. The hashtag to use just on Twitter or in the comments, just use hashtag AskHolo, and we'll check those hashtags and we'll answer some of your guys' questions on future vlogs and such. So since we just started and we don't really have many questions, I'm gonna ask you guys a question. What's your guys' thoughts on these vlogs so far? Like, we've been switching it up a bit differently from just doing the go-karts, or the go-kart, just because we really screwed it up on episode 3. So Jordan's been doing a lot of off-camera stuff, so it's kind of given us time to just explore Colorado and see what's out here and try different things out when it comes to vlogging. Let me know what you guys think of that, and if you guys have any questions for us, use hashtag AskHolo. And we'll definitely be answering you guys' questions for future vlogs.
Hey, what's going on, guys? So I just wanted to say, we ended up not going to Popeyes just because of rush hour. It was insane, and Hunter had to get to work, so we were like, it's not gonna work out. But that wraps up today's vlog. Episode 5 was pretty fun. Went down to Denver, seen a lot of cool things, and hopefully I taught you guys a bit more about, I guess, the importance of photography when it comes to branding new clothes and all of that. So that wraps it up for this vlog. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, be sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I will see you guys on the next one. Thank you.